Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Okay. All praises, honor, glory, blessings, and power be unto Abanoah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors, double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. And shalom, a hearty shalom to the prophets of that body. And shalom to the 144,001 May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households as we approach the end, sooner rather than later. All right. Talking about approaching the end, you know, a lot of people, a lot of sellout jakes are in the mindset of being Israelites in captivity when this is not meant to be our rest. Okay. And they want to prolong it because they're scared of what's to come. Now, don't get it twisted. There's a little, the flesh, the spirit is willing, the flesh is weak, loosely paraphrasing scripture, but because we're in these chains of darkness, sometimes, you get a little, you might get a little, not say shook, just a little kind of weary, right? Which is ultimately going towards being circumspect, but it's like a bandage, right? Do you want that bandage like when you're a child, you scraped your knee? Do you want that bandage taken off slowly or quickly? Quicker is better, okay, because you get it out of the way. And we're not going to get into the kingdom of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, which is going to be on this planet Earth and beyond, okay? Like the Lord's Prayer in Matthew, the book of Matthew 6, right? Right? The Lord's kingdom is going to be, the way it's in heaven, it's going to be on earth, right? It's going to replicate that. And if you want that kingdom of righteousness on this planet Earth and beyond, Brakti Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakwadash, you're going to have to go through the straight gate. It's not going to be a cakewalk, all right? As I now said that now, this video I came across last night. Excuse me. I don't know who this individual is, and I'm not making no money off this whatsoever. I'm not a social media person. I'm not a techie person. So whatever terms you want to utilize, I'm not any of those. This is just interesting to me because this person here said time is going by too fast. Time is going by too fast and nobody's talking about it. Well, actually, a lot of people are talking about it. The men of the Lord, the men of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua are talking about it. Our apostles on down, okay? Our teachers, the elder bishops, the prophets, the frontline prophets of Great Millstone. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it, any other camps, but they probably do because I don't really watch them like that. We stick to one camp, the men of the Lord, the men of Great Millstone. They talk about time going fast. And this is all in the scriptures, okay? And the fact that other people are feeling it, right, which means the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yeshua is spreading that fear of the end. It's on the horizon. The end meaning the end of this current rulership. The current rulership of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Like, for example, I was reading the book of Judges. I've been on the book of Judges as of recent. I didn't grow up with the scriptures, so I try and read it and try and get understanding out of it. And Brakti Hashem Yeshua, every time I read the chapters or talk about something or read it, the men of the Lord, the men of Great Millstone, someone's talking about the same chapter. So, the understanding is being provided by the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yeshua. So, Tawada, Lord. And, every time, Jacob went into captivity, the Lord provided a way to get out of that situation. Okay, now, this time round, in this final captivity that we're in, our Lord Yahweh Shai is returning. Okay, all right, but in more of a powerful form, let's just say that. Okay, and and everybody's feeling the temperature, everybody's feeling the heat or the cold, whatever, however you want to put it down, right? Everybody's feeling it. That time is going fast. Okay, because I remember in the 80s when I was back in 86, 87, when I was about 10, 11 years old, the summers were long. We had 6 weeks off. Esau putting that 6 in again. 6 to 7, yeah, about 6 weeks, I believe, yeah. And those summers were long. You'd be out of the house early in the morning. Your parents would be at work. you know, right? You'll be out of the house, you'll be in the park, you'll be knocking on for your friends, you know, you grab the soccer ball or whatever, you go to the park, or you just mess around in the streets, you know, back in the days, and the summers were long. The summers were long, man. You know, you feel like that the day is done, and you look at the clock, it'd be like 1 p.m. or something. You think, oh man, look at the whole day yet. You know, the days were long back then. I remember school days were long as well. All right, now you wake up, and you know, even if you so-called sleep in, right, because you have like a day off, because you need rest, man, because this whole realm is wearing Jake out. It's wearing out the rest of the world too, but Jacob knows why this wearing is happening. And Jacob has the answers through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Mashai that why they're being worn down. And the wearing down aspect is also off the back end of that, is that means that we're closer to the return of Yahweh Shai. And time going fast is also the return of Yahweh Shai. And also time going fast, which means also the devil hath but a short time. They know they've got a short time. All right. Now, copyright fair use. I'm not making any money out of it. I'm just going to go along with the agenda, or this young man is saying, or this person is saying, not young man, this person is saying. All right. So I might play a few minutes. Not going to play the whole thing. Let's see if it allows me to play it. All right.
Really fast right now. And I think we all feel it, and nobody's talking about it. And it's scary. I'll notice it's Monday. Time is going really, really fast right now. Really fast right now. And I think we all feel it, and nobody's talking about it. And it's scary. I'll notice it's Monday, and then it seems like before I turn around, it's Monday again. It's like I went through a wormhole or something. And stay with me here, because what's causing this, it's not what you think. This isn't just about the distraction of our phones and our
Salakia for that.
age. There's something deeper going on. And to be honest, there's something a lot more terrifying going on. And this time thing, it used to not be like that for me. I remember in my 20s working 10-hour days, and I'd still find enough time to go to the gym before work and after work.
Yeah.
And now I barely find time to go to the gym at all. And I know that I was young back then, but every day felt like it was the length of about 3 of the days that I'm having right now. And it's gotten significantly worse over about the last 6 years. And we all know what happened around that time. And that made me start thinking, what has happened over this decade?
Now, what's happened in the last 6 years was the C19 scenario. Okay. I'm not going to play no more. I think that we got about the idea of it. They're going to talk about worldly aspects and this, that, and the third. Okay. Everyone's got their own so-called theory that is terrifying. Okay. Now, the C19 aspect was just another push in the direction of uniformity in the terms of Esau, Edom, you know, trying to replicate those cues and those cues that we saw when people took the jump shot. They want to replicate that when people take the charagma, which is going to be Revelation 13:16, which is going to be the micro C-hip, whether it's the brain one or whatever term they call it, because there's so many different types of CHIPs, whatever it is, whether it's going to go on your forehead, whether it's going to go in your arm or your hand, right? The fact remains, it's going to happen. So they're trying to replicate that. And that was just another push in the direction of the demise of so-called normalcy of this world, right? So Yahweh Hashem Yashai, right? You know, through the Spirit, letting us know, okay, the hopeful elect, that, okay, this has happened now. Time is going to speed up faster. As significant key events happen pursuant to the scriptures, all right? time is going to be pushed a little faster and faster and faster. It's going to be jolted forward, okay? And which means, okay, the Lord is speeding up the time for the elect's sake, but also Esau, Edom knows that their time is short, and the way the Most High hardened the heart of the Pharaoh, I believe, of Egypt, when we were in captivity there, when Moses was risen up to lead Jake, right? Um, the heart was hardened of Pharaoh, right? So the same way the Lord is hardening the heart of these elites, Trump and all that, okay? And their cohorts and their people, whatever, right? And they're going to go into slavery forever for 1,000 years, and then they're going to be deleted, pursuant to Obadiah 118, right? And they're going to get really bad, really, 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 I'm just going to say it this way, the really bad treatment. I'll say that, okay? They're not going to get it easy, and they're going to serve 1,000 years slavery, then they're going to be deleted. And there'll be no existence of the so-called YT, Edomite, Caucasian, cave dog ever again. Okay? Even their remnant, even their look, that yellow hair, red hair, freckles and shit, that'll be all gone. All right? So Esau, Edom, his heart is being hardened, and they know they're going to go into slavery, but they actually believe, these crackers, the elites, right, actually believe they're going to fight the Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. They actually they think they're going to actually fight the Lord, man. When I say Lord, I'm talking about the capitals Lord, Yahweh, man, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. They're going to fight. They actually think that they can take on the Lord. The creator of heaven and earth and beyond, and every intricate thing. And there is no age of the Lord, man. Okay? There is no birthday of the Most High. And you want to fight him? See, that's how much the Lord is hardening these damn devils' hearts. And they know time is short. So they're trying to get their weaponry in place. They're trying to do all these reveals. Oh, yeah, they are UFOs, or they're not UFOs. It's like back and forth. Is there or is there not? But they're all alluding to that yes, there is. They've revealed the fact that they've got this excuse me, their space force. Okay, all right, and they always had a space force, but they just did the reveal right now. Like they always had it, but they had the name. They had Space Force under a curtain or whatever, and they just opened the curtains to let you know, yeah, we got a Space Force now, which was always there. All right, they've got the lasers up in space. All these movies they show you of these Iron Man type suits, these super soldiers from the Incredible Hulk, for example, these Captain America type esque kind of characters. They've got those people for real. What they show you on these sort of technology shows and these little videos they show where people are going to see the latest tech or whatever, all these tech heads, whether it's Japan or China or UK or America or whatever, they're only showing you what they want to show you. But really, they got bad at SHIT in the background. That shit they got in the movies, they got it for real. Okay, because they're going to need these weapons to fight the Lord. But the Lord is just going to make it interesting. The Lord is giving these blessings on the left-hand side to these devils. Isaiah 45 verse 7, the Lord deals with the right-hand side and the left-hand side. And obviously Esau, Edom, he got dominion over the earth by the sword. His blessing was a sword, right? Hence the reason why the Lord wants to make this a fun fight for him. So the Lord is saying, okay, devil, you can have this, have it, because the Lord doesn't want to fight somebody in the boxing ring with one arm tied behind their back. The Lord's saying, okay, yeah, bring it on. I want to make sure I give you all that you need, all right? And I want to see how good you are going to be in the battlefield. And the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man, Yahweh Shai is just going to get down. It's going to be like a hot knife cutting through butter, man. Straight up. The Lord's going to demolish them. The Lord, the Lord can just look at them and make them implode. But the Lord's going to make it intricate and fun, And that's why these devils are really pushing hard. We can see everybody crying, bitching, moaning about finances. Haggai 1 and 6, they're earning so much money. They've earned more money than they've ever earned before in their career or their job. And they still can't make ends meet. That money's going through like you're putting money in a sieve. It's just falling right through a bag with holes, right? Haggai 1 and 6. Yeah. And you got people worried about the future. Okay. The world is not the same. Optimism is out the window. Romance is out the window. Love is out the window. That feel good music that'll make your hair stand on your arms, is out the window. That music you listen to, when you get a haircut on a Friday night, you're getting showered up and fresh, putting your fresh clothes on. You've got some R&B or hip hop playing in the background. Not that gangster shit. I'm talking about hip hop with, uh, with a few nice lyrics. Even though we know Esau puts his demonic vibration and everything, but like a hip hop and R&B combination, you know, you'd listen to just to get in the mood. The sun be shining. you know, that mid to late '90s feel is all out the window. The '80s feel is out the window. And people people are what's the word, man? People are begging for the past to come back. It like a woman or a lost love. A man would be crying, saying, "Baby, come back, baby, come back." Right? The world is crying for the past. Even youngsters, Gen Z, saying, "Man, I want to go back in time, man. The '70s are great. People were in such colorful clothes. People were so much more happier. Women asked out men asked out women. It was normalcy. You don't see none of this faggot shit everywhere. You know, um, everybody's just engrossed in their phones. You know, and all these combinations of different things. The war drums are banging, right? Revelation 11:14, World War III is going to happen, but prior to World War III kicking off, the Charagma micro CHIP has to be in place. We've seen Elon Musk do his trials in the UK and America being successful, and this has all happened within the last 12 months. I believe Musk been doing it less than a year. All these trials. Why all these trials and these things happening? Why are they shutting all these organizations down? All your favorite fast food restaurants. Why are people being laid off left, right, and center? Why is there less disposable income for people to spend, and therefore the high streets and stores are shutting down? It's become a very, like the whole world is like becoming like a big giant bum, a derelict world. Okay, why? Because we're approaching the end, and Esau Edom is all putting these things in place in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai on the left hand side. The Lord is making it happen, right? So the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yashai can be on this earth and beyond forever. Because under the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, okay, Yahweh Bashem Yashai leading the way, okay, the elect are the real eternals, okay, the Most High and Yahweh Shai leading first, of course, okay, the elect, his men on this earth, and the 144 and the 1/3, they're the real eternals, okay. So all these things that are happening, World War III, micro CHIP, financial crash, the Strait of Hormuz, the chokehold, which is choking the world. All right, prices going through, rising exponentially, or if that's a term, no, just rising real fast. People are, with inflation, money is not stretching as far as it used to. A dollar is a dollar ain't a dollar no more. A pound ain't a pound no more. I remember my mom speaking to me, right? And she's saying, yeah, in 1972, when she used to go shopping to the store, right? Back then, a pound, you could do a whole damn week's shopping for 1 pound. 1 pound. Today, 1 pound. And then I remember in the 80s, for 1 pound, right? Equivalent of a dollar at that time, I could buy like a large, not that I drink soda like that these days, but I'm talking about the 80s, right? You could buy a large bottle of cola for 1 pound. I think it was like about a liter and a half, all right? And I believe, and prior to that, sort of like early to mid 80s, you could buy like a couple of sodas, chocolate bars, a packet of chips, or what we call crisps in the UK, for 1 pound. 1 pound went a long way. All right. We used to have half pennies, 1 pennies, right? You could buy them 1 penny candies. Obviously, over a period of time, they've got rid of the pound note. Now it's just pound coins. They've got rid of the half pennies, the 1 pennies. They're getting rid of all large denominations of notes. Slowly but surely, they've been creeping these things in. The timeline that I've been noticing over the last 40 years, according to my age, right? Why? Because they're bringing in the new world order, which is not going to come into fruition, because the Lord is going to, as soon as they're about to dig into that plate of their new world order, the Lord Yahweh Hashem is going to smack that plate out of their hand. All right? These damn devils know they got a short time. They're going to go into slavery forever, so they're going to fight tooth and fucking nail, man. All right? Like a person with their last breath, trying to save themselves from being deleted. They're going to try everything, But just like in the movie Terminator 2, right? When they put that machine in the lava, or that hot, when they melted the machine, the lights of Esau Edom's rulership is going to go out, never to rise again. All right. And there is no fate but what we make. Okay. Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of the Lord. Then how can a man understand his own way? You can't take away prophecy. Okay. You can't do nothing against the truth but for the truth. No matter what you try, whatever how you try to spin the truth, Yahweh Hashem is still going to bring it back to that same point of you Edomites going to slavery and all you non-Israelite nations going to slavery and you two parts being deleted pursuant to Zechariah 13 and 8 and 13 and 9. That's why these crackers are going to get down and busy. And that's why time is going fast, because these damn devils are giving you printed food and a meat that's glued together, fucking tomatoes and lettuce that might not even be damn near real. That's why, as the book of Thessalonians would say, pray without ceasing. You've got to pray over your food, pray before you leave the house, pray before you work out, pray in the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yashai, Acts 4 and 12. There's only one name under heaven that we must be saved. And that's the name of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Rakah Kodash. All right? Okay? With all the foods, all the chemtrails in the air. It's a blue sky today in London. All right? But I see the chemtrails dissipating. They're everywhere. Okay, poisoning your mindset, putting that gray cloud over you, making you more ill, making you sneeze, cough. Okay? If this world was to go on the way it is, which it isn't, I'm going to highlight that, it's not going to, all right? Esau Edom will destroy everybody, all right? Now let's read, let me just read Revelation 12 verse 12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil, the deceiver, is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. All right? They have but a short time. Their rulership was not eternal. Most heathen rulerships don't go beyond a 250-year period, according to the analysis and studying the elders have done under the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yashai, the apostles on down, the men of Great Millstone. All right, elder apostle Tahar brought that out. Okay? And subscribe to the elders channel, Elders in Transit, I believe. Elders putting his videos up on that. Okay? Okay? It doesn't, and we're approaching, guess what? The 250th year was in our 6th of April today, right? April, May, June, July. April, May, June, July. Damn near less than 3 months before July the 4th. Today's 6th of April. Okay? Things are going to speed up further after July. Okay, we're halfway through this year. I just remember during December, you have a couple of holidays saved up, thinking that, you know what, with the bank holidays and all this bullshit Christmas shit, I could have a little bit of an extended break, so to speak, right? In this hell. And that was like 4 months ago. No, 5 months ago. Right? Just over 4 months ago. And we're in spring now. So time is definitely going fast, all right? So Brakti Habashim Shai for that, because the Lord is speeding up the time for the elect's sake, because we want to go home, bruv. All right? Let's get to and I made a video a while back, man, about time going really fast. And an analysis was done, right, by some scientists that time was going fast by 33%. And that was spiritual. The time has gone up, speeding up by 33%. So a 24-hour day feels like an 18-hour day, right? And that's 1/3, 33%. So the Lord is speeding up time for the elect's sake. But I cannot find that damn article again, man. Right? I can't find it again. All right, let's go to Matthew 24 and 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay? For the elect's sake, those days should be shortened. The Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yashai, is speeding up the time for the elect's sake. The world is thinking, what the hell's going on? Why is time going fast? And they're coming out with all these theories, these ideas. Oh, it could be this, it could be that. It's social media, it's this. No, it's the end of this world. End of this rulership. Not the end of this world. Ain't gonna be no freaking Armageddon where the whole damn world, the whole globe explodes. No. Management of the earth is gonna change. Okay? Rulership of this earth is gonna change. Okay? And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So the Lord Yahweh Shemashai, this is the reason why time is going fast. Okay? What did the Lord say here? If the Lord doesn't shorten the days, and except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. There should no flesh be saved. There should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Okay, if this world was to go on the way it is, hypothetically speaking, by the way, hypothetically speaking, like this, and keep going on and on, all this poison, chemtrails, fucked up food, and faggotry everywhere, and Moism, and you know, uh, you know, more inflation, and people, people are gonna, people are gonna bug out. They'll, people are bugging out anyway, right? People are just gonna start dropping dead, and Esau Edom is not gonna have many slaves for his rulership. Okay, ultimately, uh, if this world is to go on the way it is, the elect, fuck the world, the elect, right, will be deleted. There will be no flesh saved. Okay, but the Lord Yahweh Shemashai knows how much the elect can take, and this is a purification process in itself. Okay, acceptable men in the furnace of adversity, right? The way gold is purified, even enduring this shit that Jake is going through, is part of the purification process, which means that we are closer to the door of the Lord returning. Okay, the fact that Jake is feeling this way. All right. So the Lord Yahweh Shemashai knows how much his men, his daughters, his children can take. When I say men, daughters, and children, I'm talking about the 144, which are all men, by the way, all Israelite men, black, Hispanic, and native Indian, paternally, doesn't matter what your mother is, and Israelite foreigners, okay, that are of that royal lineage of the 12 tribes. And the children and the women and other male believers are the greater multitude of the 1/3, okay? The Lord knows how much his children can take. Okay. Otherwise, if it was to go on, man, Jake could be, even though Jake is effed up out here, Jake could be even more effed up to the point where there'd be no return. But the Lord, Yahweh Shemashai, what did the Lord say? He's going to shorten the days, man. Hence the reason, that's why time is going fast, because we are at the brink of, we are at the, we can see in the horizon, man, that the Lord Yahweh Shai is returning in the spirit and power of Yahweh, man. Yahweh Shemashai, is making things happen. The Lord Yahweh Shai is returning. Okay? I loosely paraphrased some scriptures, and I've read a couple. Let's see if I can get any more. 1 second. Bear with me, please. Revelation 22:12. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. Verse 13, I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Okay? The Lord is the beginning and the beginning and the end. All right? Yahweh Shai is the only begotten Son of the Most High Yahweh. And the Lord is coming. All right? Quickly. And we can see it even more quicker. You don't have to wait another 2,000 years. It's going to happen in our lifetime. And, it's not going to be like you're 60 years old and the Lord's going to return when you're 70. I believe, this is me saying it, right? This is me. Gabar Ban Yasharala, right? Okay. I believe that the Lord is going to return within soon. I'll just say that. Okay. I can't put a timeline on it, but I know it ain't going to be another 4 or 5 years. It could be a year. It could be 2. Lord willing, this Passover that we're in the midst of is the last Passover on this side, 2026. Okay. We want to go home sooner rather than later. But we're not going to. This 2030 bullshit, 2035, Esau can come out with all these fucking numbers and dates and shit. You don't control nothing, devil. You don't control nothing. All right? The Lord knows some of his men are getting up in age. even though the Lord can give you spiritual power and heighten your senses and give you that energy. That's, of course, the Lord can do anything. Okay, all right. We can do, the Lord can do anything. We can do all things through Hamashiach, which strengthens us, right? Okay, but when the men of the Lord are getting up in age, and the men of the Lord, our apostles, now have been preaching on the streets, and prior to that, but visibly we've seen them for the last 40 plus years, from old videos of the 80s, and then heavy duty from 2007 onwards. So, and they're getting up in age, and the Lord knows that He's got to return quickly, just to scoop up His elect. There was another scripture, man, coming to my mind. Just give me a second, man. It comes and goes. Um, oh my days, Salakia, man, it's just slipped my mind. And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be. Oh yeah, what I wanted to also say as well, Esau Edom, revelation of the method. They let you know on the left hand side. They make movies with their own particular outcome, how they want things to be. They make movies like Superman. They take bits and bobs, actually a lot of it from the scriptures, named like Kalel. Kalel means all powerful in the Hebrew. They show Esau Edom wearing a mantle, hence the reason why Esau Edom, Christopher Reeve, was put into a wheelchair afterwards, because he was on his high horse. Okay, I'm loosely paraphrasing a scripture. The Lord has seen princes walking the earth and servants on horses, and these crackers are servants. They're on horses, and this devil Christopher Reeve put on a mantle. What happened to him in 1995? That piece of shit fell off his horse and was paralyzed. That's your Superman. That's Esau Edom. Okay, you ain't got that power like that, man. You can only dream of having power like that. You can only wear mantles in movies. Pretend you're King David. Pretend you're the Most High, or the Messiah, or King David. Or King Solomon. Or Moses. You can dream of that. You can dream of power like that. But you're not gonna ever have it. You can show it in Hollywood movies, yeah. Flying around, shooting laser beams out of your eyes. You crackers ain't gonna have that. But these devils know that Jake's going to get power like that. That's why they've got this whole weaponry ready. And they're also giving you bits and bobs from movies, which they all get from the scriptures. Terminator 2, the nuclear fire. That's going to hit America, 200 million warheads. So all these things are happening as time is speeding up. Why? Because we are at the end of this rulership. Okay? Hence the reason. Okay? Hence the reason. Just bear with me 1 second. Let me just read the verse of the day as well. A beautiful verse of the day. 1 Samuel 2, verse 2. There is none holy as the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yashai, for there is none beside thee, neither is there any rock like our power. Okay? So all you Jakes out there, man, that are, 1 foot in the truth and 1 foot in the wacky-tacky Christianity or Islam or whatever it could be, you better pull your finger out. All right? You better, if you know the name, you better call upon it. All right? Because when all hell breaks loose and you're trying to think of the name, and even if you know the name, the Lord ain't going to help you, man, because you didn't call upon the Lord before. You didn't put down all your evil works before, right? So, but ultimately, man, even if you could be a ninja, a spiritual scriptorial ninja with the scriptures, right? You could still fall by the wayside. You could be a frontline prophet and still fall by the way, still fall out of the truth. And I've seen many instances and many videos of our elders making videos of former prophets. And before they had that glow on their face, and today they got dreadlocks and that glow is gone. That's scary, man. All right. So if you're the Lord's sheep, you're going to be saved no matter what. No matter what. Okay. So time is speeding up. Why? Because we are at the end. All right. And this kingdom is not going to bounce back. America's not going to be that shiny city where people want to go, where people see Baywatch and thinking, oh yeah, it's like that in California. It's not like that in California anymore. You might have little areas that are probably like that. Okay, but for the most part, it ain't like that no more, man. All right, it's not like that anymore. That was 35 years ago. America was like that. 40 years ago, America was like that. 50 years ago, it's not like that no more. Okay, the world is not going to bounce back. The world is not going to start making Motown songs and rock and roll songs like the 50s again. All right, ain't going to be none of that no more. We are at the end. So you crackers, you Edomites, you heathens and non-Israelites, you better enjoy your blessings. If you have a great job, you earn great money, you got a six-figure salary, you're still living okay at the moment, you better enjoy it. Because it's all downhill for you devils. All right? And all you heathens too. And you jakes that sold out. All right? The Lord's got something special aligned for you pricks that sold out, man. All right? All you Jay-Z's and Eddie Murphys and Arsenio Halls and shit, every single one, man. Power 105, Charlemagne, all you fucking DJ Envy, all you people, man. We know you're part of it, man. I don't give a shit if you're a radio DJ or some kind of successful CEO of a company. You're all part of it. You're all part of that world, whether it's small, lower level luminaries or high level luminaries, whatever. You're gonna get it, man, because we are at the end. All praises to Yahweh Bashem Yashai Bashem Rakakadash Mawathabad Babal Kwam Yashrala Shalom.